What is up, Lions fans? It's Alex here today, and today I am about to go off on Aaron Glenn. Reacting to this game. First off, the Detroit Lions offense. Amazing, even with injuries. We scored over 40 points. With Amon-Ra St. Brown gone, with DJ Chark gone, no DeAndre Swift, no Big V, no Jonah Jackson. In fact, our offense has done so good with a bunch of injuries. We've scored every play but one. I mean, sorry, not every play, but every quarter but one. With injuries. This is the power of Ben Johnson. We're out here making plays, keeping it going. We're doing an explosion. Goff's looking good. This loss. We have dealt with injuries. And we were a mediocre offense last year. The Detroit Lions were not a good offense last year, so you can't be, oh, well, there's a lack of talent. We were injured and we still did good. This is also an offense that's coming off a rebuild year. Offensive draft pick isn't even playing yet. Last year the offense was ranked 25th. Last year the defense was ranked 31st. Our defense got worse. That's with better offensive time possessions, less turnovers, more scoring. It's insane. The defense is just not playing well. If you look here, Aaron Glenn's defense, not only is it ranked 32nd in the league, here's his last 10 games. 27 points allowed, 38 points allowed, 12 points allowed, 20 points allowed, 51, 30, 38, 27, 28, 48. That is unacceptable. These are his last four, I believe. His last four, he allowed 48, 28, 27, and 38. That is crazy. That is crazy. It's just unacceptable. Any good defensive coordinator would not be allowing this many points. It's ridiculous. The very next week, where Philly faced the Commanders only scored 8. Then they only scored 25. It's ridiculous that he's playing this bad. He's averaging 31.9 points per game in his last 10 games as defensive coordinator. Before anyone goes off and says, but there's not enough talent on this defense. It got worse from last year. This year, you have actually a good corner in Jeffrey Okudah. You have a good, strong safety in Elliott. Even when Walker was here, it wasn't playing well. Even when Kaminsky was here, it wasn't playing well. You have an improved linebacker in Malcolm Rodriguez. You have Aiden Hutchinson. You still have the same guy who was doing good for you last year, Charles Harris, and just isn't doing as good. You have McNeil. This is a defense that, sure, it's not supposed to be good. It's not supposed to be a top 19 defense, maybe even top 20, but should at least be slightly below average. This is like league worst, franchise worst. This is worse than any Patricia defense. That's right. It's on pace to break Matt Patricia's record-breaking bad defense. That's inexcusable. It's terrible. No one's saying that the defense is supposed to be good, but not this bad where it can't even contain a team that's led by Geno Smith from scoring 40 plus points. It can't stop Kirk Cousins. It can't stop Jalen Hurts. It can't stop Carson Wentz. It's ridiculous. It's had one good half out of 4 games. Completely unacceptable. This next game, dude, you've got to have more expectations. This next game, if Bailey Zappi scores more than 17 points, I am going to lose my mind. I'm not much of a guy who ever says a head coach, not head coach, a coordinator should be fired midseason. But I want Glenn fired if he allows Bailey Zappi to run over him, the third string quarterback from New England Patriots. We should dominate the Patriots by at least 2 scores. And I'm gonna freaking lose it if we don't please play at least decent defense versus the Patriots, which not only is it Bailey Zappi, but it's Matt Patricia at offensive coordinator. If you can't defeat a third string quarterback and Matt Patricia being the offensive coordinator, you need to fire defensive coordinator or Anthony Lindham. Alright, so now I guess my little rant's done. Now I'm going to predict the Lions versus Patriots. Okay, so Lions versus Patriots. Aaron Glenn's last chance, at least to win me over. I don't know about Campbell. Hopefully, it's his last chance to keep play calling under Campbell at least. The score, I think Lions are going to score 31 points. New England 21. I'm hoping that we allow even less, but this is just what I think is going to happen. New England has just not been good this year offensively at all. I think the run game is going to give us some issues. I'm thinking 2 touchdowns. I think maybe they might get a pass touchdown just because our run defense isn't good and our QB is just doing terrible. Sorry, not our QB. Our defense is just doing terrible pass defense wise, so that's awesome. But I'm thinking 31-21 because our high powered offense, we're the number one scoring offense in the NFL. We're going to get weapons back. Hopefully, Stephen Brown's going to be back. Hopefully, Chark's going to be back. We're going to be a little bit more healthy. We're going to have another week to go off of. We're going to be off high emotions after Seattle. I think we can kill them, especially because a lot of players are going to have some beef with offensive coordinator Matt Patricia. QB Jared Goff. I think he's going to throw for 276 yards and 3 passing touchdowns. I think this is just a game where he's going to go off. It's going to be a good game for him where he's really just going to keep up this hot streak he's been having ever since Len lost play calling. It's just overall he's been killing it with Josh Reynolds, Tom Kennedy. He's been killing it with Josh Reynolds. He's been killing it with Hawk. Honestly, he seems to just be working around everything right now. Jared Goff elevated the team last week with no Amon-Ra St. Brown, no Josh Reynolds. Sorry, not Josh Reynolds. No DJ Chark, no DeAndre Swift. Our 3 top big explosive play weapons. Banged up Josh Reynolds. You lost Khalif Raymond mid-game for a little bit, and then you lost Quintus Cephas mid-game for a little bit. You lost Evan Brown for the entire game. There's no Jonah Jackson, no Big V. That dude elevated this team. That's what I've been telling everyone for a while, and I think he's going to continue to elevate this team. Running back. I think this is pretty exciting. I'm going to kind of split this up because I think it could be a possibility that Swift doesn't play still. If he does play, I think he gets 90 yards and a touchdown. Jamal Williams gets 60 yards and 2 touchdowns. I think I did this wrong, actually. So 3 touchdowns. It's 21. Yeah, I did this wrong. You're only going to score 1, Jamal. I believe I did that wrong. But, yeah, it's just what I think is going to happen. I don't think our ring game's going to go crazy, but it's going to be pretty decent. I got to say, I have a ton of respect for Jamal Williams right now. He has stepped up since the injury of DeAndre Swift. He has absolutely killed it the last 2 weeks. He continues to be a touchdown machine to go along with it. He's definitely earned himself a contract extension. If St. Brown plays, which I think he probably will, St. Brown will get 104 yards and touchdown. Josh Reynolds will get 80 yards and touchdown. So far for agency bust, DJ Chark will get 30 yards. If no sun god, I think Josh Reynolds gets 90 yards and touchdown. Chark gets 50 yards and touchdown. Tom Kennedy gets 25 yards. Tight end, I think Hockenson will get 88 yards and a touchdown. So in total, that's going to probably get Goff around 276. Maybe there's some extra guys that get some yardage. Shout out to Tom Kennedy, by the way. I totally think he looks better than Khalif Raymond. I thought he even looked a little bit better than Quintus Cephas, too. He's looking pretty legit, man. TK. O-line, I don't think... I think they're going to allow 1 sack, maybe an average pressure rate, but it will continue the run block well. Defensive end, Aiden Hutchinson. He's going to have 5 tackles, 1 QB hit, and 4 QB pressures. Last week he had 3 run stops, 2 QB hits, and 4 pressures. I think that'll kind of continue versus New England. He'd continue to get double teamed. Harris, I think, will get a sack, maybe like 2 pressures and 3 tackles. I think this is kind of like a game that they need to step up in. McNeil gets 4 tackles, Bugs gets 3. Alex Anzalone gets 7 tackles, Rodrigo gets 8, maybe another linebacker after Campbell talked about getting some new defensive guys in, maybe Board or Barnes. Okuda gets 37. I think it's a bounce back game, 30% completion percentage and 0 touchdowns allowed. Manio kind of continues to be a Manio. Hughes continues to be Hughes. Who knows, though? We might see Chase Lucas this week. We'll see what happens. I don't know who's going to start at free safety. It could be Kirby. It could be Afitu. It could be Juju Hughes. We'll We'll see what happens. I'll get you guys an update on that sooner or later. Strong safety Elliott, 8 tackles. I think Austin Seibert should be back, and I think he'll make all his extra points and maybe make a 30-yard kick. That's going to be my little prediction for right now. But yeah, dude, I'm very excited to see that we were able to get all this stuff done. Well, I think this could be a game that could be a big tone setter, but also a big thing. We are, where are we, 1-3 right now? We need to get 2-3, or else, man. This is a must-win game for us. Yeah, since there's no one else in the live, we have to end it here. No one else to really talk about. I guess I will mention a few other points. TJ Hawkinson looked like he kind of bounced back. I got to give props to him. 150-plus yard day of 2 touchdowns. Hopefully that's going to be a Amon-Ra game where, he finally has a good game and that leads to him continuing to play well or be used by the coach. And got to give props to Jamal, like I said. But also Josh Reynolds. Dude's looked pretty good this year. I'll have to maybe do a little bit of a video on Josh Reynolds. But yeah, I'll see you guys later. One Pride, go Lions, and I hope everything goes well.